So would you mind talking for a moment, and then we'll transition, and kind of, but would you mind talking a little bit about leverage, how you see that playing into scaling or growth or this whole journey called financial freedom or wealth building?
Yeah, I think of three types of leverage. I think of money leverage, systems leverage, and then people leverage. And of the three, people leverage is actually the most important, but it's the hardest to get to, right? Because how can you hire a guy when you have no money? But you don't have to be the smartest guy in your organization. You don't have to be even the 10th smartest guy in your organization. You don't have to be the hardest working. You don't have to be the best at systems. People always say, I have a systems problem. And, you could just say back to them, no, just go hire somebody to put the systems in place for you. I think people get outside of their core competence. Your core competence, if you and I are similar, so it should just be leadership. Like, how do I lead well? How do I pay attention to the core metrics that are necessary for me to understand this business without getting lost in the detail? I already know I can't do calculus very well, but I could take the 10 numbers that are most important and boil them down to like 5, and then pay attention to like, how many contacts am I making a month? What's my gross rent? What's my net rent? What is the cap rate of my business? You could break it down to something simple and then just drill down onto that and hold yourself accountable. And the cool thing about most businesses is there's other people that will tell you what those are. You don't even have to figure it out yourself. Like almost every business out there, whether it's karate or single family rentals or anything, it has a predetermined set of metrics that most people watch. Now, some people might look at 50 metrics like Warren Buffett, but I might just choose to look at 5. Like when I was building my real estate company, really it was about the number of recruits coming in versus the ones going out. Like that, to build a great now, of course, there was expenses, making sure they weren't getting away from me. And there was, revenue from those agents and how much they created in real estate sales. But the reality is the number of agents I had directly determined the revenue. So if I just tracked agent count and I wasn't an idiot on expenses and I wasn't buying the most expensive or putting myself in stupidly expensive space, which sometimes I did, but mostly I didn't, then I would know that if I was adding 5 agents a month or 2 agents net a month, that every year my profits would be going up because I was increasing the size of my business. So that's very simple. That's how you boil down a real estate company. Keep your expenses and then add agents that are productive. And then you could add in training and all the other stuff, but really it all boiled down to productive, gross agents versus net agents. That was the number one correlation. In single family rentals, it's probably your net cash flow. It's like, what is your net cash flow and what does that relate to as a cap rate from your total business, or what are your expenses versus your revenue? And all of that. And if you get that right on every single property you do, you're going to make money on every single property, and eventually it all just kind of washes out. So that's, systems leverage. Capital leverage only comes with money. If you don't have the money, then be a person of integrity, learn, work really hard, and find people with money. There's like 1 million people that will fund stuff. As you know, you've seen it in GoBundance. We've seen it everywhere. I have a private equity firm right now, so we've raised $300 million from people, and we're on our way trying to make it to $1 billion in assets AUM. We could be as close to 400 million now, but it's a process. And you don't have to do that. You could just actually find a single family rental and get someone to loan you 30 grand to fix it up and flip it. That's where you start. But the better you get at that over time, the more money's going to come your way, right? Because there's always money that'll find deals. People say, I can't find any money. Actually, that's not true. If you become an expert at something, money will find you. If you become really good at something and you make even a half effort, money will find you. And then the most important one is the people systems. And to me, you can hire someone to do almost anything. So my goal has always been to be the least competent person in my organization. So I probably have 120 employees, 4,600 agents right now, real estate agents. But I have a multiple of businesses, and in those businesses, there's probably 120 employees. My goal would be to be the dumbest employee number 121. And it doesn't mean like I have to be, I guess that sounds facetious. What I mean is like, I want my office admin to be better at admin officing than I am. I want my guy that's doing and I have multiple MBAs working for me now, which I never had. Even back when I knew you, I was more into partnering with guys like Chris and very smart people. But now I have employees that are, secondary degrees and things that I couldn't even dream of having. And I just need to know enough to know that they're not screwing it up and then trust them. And if you get the right people, you can trust them. Ambitious people, intelligent people with good values, and then you just know they're showing up every day and working hard. As long as you're paying them a good chunk of money, they're probably not going anywhere. So, and then you create opportunities for the upside. And then I need my really even the people cleaning my house to be the best house cleaners that possibly could be, right? Like, so that's what I'm saying is they don't have to be better than me. Just in what they do, I want them to be better than me. And so that's been a whole journey as well. That's That's the I do it, we do it, they do it. And if you get to the end, now where your people, your listeners are based on what you described is they might not be able to afford anybody right now, right? But you could go find, if you're an investor, find some good realtors. Find 1 or 2 realtors that are really good at bringing you deals. They don't have to work for you. They get paid when you do a deal. So you find the ones that have integrity, that you can trust, that bring you real estate deals. Or go find a lender, like a mortgage guy. Like we have Wally in GoBundance, right? But you just go find, there's a lot of great lenders, and you go and they build that team. And then you need a handyman, or you need a carpet guy, or you need a roofer. So you can actually build an entire team of people. And if they suck, they'll ruin your investment. But if they're great, they'll make your investment that much better. And you need to be cultivating that capability of attracting the right people and the right teammates. And what's cool about that is the best way to attract those people is to become a great person, right? So the more you work on yourself and develop yourself, the more you're going to attract better people into your life.